What's up, everybody? Spirit with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the Space Engineers motherboard thing. I forget what it's actually called. Please look in the description because I know that's not the right name of it. But this isn't particularly what I would consider useful design. This is another one of those that just to me is amazing and really, really cool and probably took a lot of time and work to do. So obviously, well, I should say this. I was going to say, obviously, you're not going to be flying this around in survival. I don't know that you couldn't. I mean, throw some weapons on here and a few storage systems and medbay and all that stuff, you could totally make it a usable ship. Actually, if it were me, I'd poke a hole and just live out of the GPU. But yeah, so this is actually like a motherboard replica, which is really, really interesting. It never even crossed my mind to try something like that. But it's really, really cool. It's a good idea. It has a, it's complete with a Keen Software logo. I think that's what that's supposed to be anyway. And the Space Engineers brand. Actually, this is really cool. Because they actually did a small grid, it looks like, and kind of wrote out the words rather than using like the letter mod or something like that. So that's really cool. But you've got all the different capacitors and CPU and RAM sticks over here. For shame, though. For shame. It's not using all of its RAM. Tisk tisk. Now the cool part is I just noticed this, from the looks of this, you can actually pilot the RAM out. Which is awesome. That's so cool. So, it looks like it's held in on a landing gear, by the looks of things. That's so great, though. It even has the, I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if that's the DDR number or the RPM number, I'm not really sure. That could be either of them, I guess. I can't quite make out what that's supposed to be. And then we've got these different power plugs, and well, I think that's what that is. I'm no engineer by any stretch. I'm more software side. Like, I learned how to program, not build chips, but I've taken the computer apart enough times. I kind of know what some of this stuff is, like the CPU, obviously. Although I don't see a power unit. That could be, but it is a motherboard. It's not like supposed to be a whole tower, so keep that in mind if you're critiquing. But still, it's not really so much for me the whole doing everything perfectly as just the attention to detail and idea behind it is really cool. Like having the fan actually move, I just noticed that. That's where the light's coming from. I wondered where the light flicker was coming from. Hey, where'd I get kicked? I ran into the fan. Oh, there's the door. Can I get in here? Ah, haha. So the interesting part is there's actually thrusters and gyroscopes in here, so I'm wondering if it was actually intended as a kind of gimmicky survival type of ship, and the intent was to actually use it. I'm not sure. But it could be. I mean, it has thrusters in it. I love that the RAM is removable. I gotta try that at least once. And hope I don't mess something up terribly. Alright, so we'll unlock the landing gear. And then I guess we'll just fly up. That is so hilarious! That's great. You can you can actually remove the RAM sticks. That's awesome. I love it. And theoretically, you could also detach this, because it's not really held together, it's just landing gears. Okay, let's see if I can reattach the RAM here. I don't know. This is a world download file, not a blueprint, so I don't know if there's any like destructible world or destructible blocks or anything involved. Apparently there is, because I already busted the landing gear somehow. Whoops. My bad. I promise I don't do that to my actual computer most days. But yeah, if you wanted to quote-unquote upgrade it, you could actually copy and paste these into the other bays, which is a really neat little touch. Let's see, what else we got? And this is actually a really interesting concept, because as a kid, whenever I would see RAM chips or circuit boards, I always thought of them as big cities, kind of like Tron, you know, type of thing. Like there was highways and buildings and stuff. So this is kind of cool that on the surface it looks like a circuit board, but then when you got closer, it's like, ah, this is our reactor, this is our hydrogen plant. You know, it almost reminds you of like a Toy Story situation, which is a really cool idea. I really like this. Like I said, I'm sure it's not intended to be a survival ready, like, go out and use this, but I'm actually seeing enough things like oxygen generators, assemblers, blah, 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 that in theory, with a little bit of tweaking, you could actually make this like a totally functional ship, which would just be hysterical. I mean, you got solar farms, jump drives, assemblers. I don't see refineries, but they could be in here somewhere. Timer blocks. I would be very surprised if there isn't at least one programmable block somewhere on this board, given the whole computer thing. Jump drives, projectors, I think those are? I'm not sure. I think those are projectors, and then you got tanks, and yeah. So there's only a few things that I think are missing. You could totally make this a survival-ready build. This is awesome, though. I love it. I love it to bits. Alright. I do think, though, however, there isn't... Oh, there's some of the motherboard plugs that I was looking for. Here's some of your pins. I do think, however, there isn't much more to see on it, even though it is really, really cool. So we're going to wrap this one up and move on to the next one. Alright, so next up we have the Argo Voyager. Now, this one, as the name implies, is more of an exploration ship. It does have some weaponry involved, but it's not really classified as like a battle cruiser or anything like that. The design is really cool, though. I like it. I've liked the trend of some of these ships that are smaller, Corvette-sized type of thing, of people making them into almost big fighter designs, which is really cool to me. I like that. But one thing, based on the screenshots, some of the stuff that particularly caught my interest about this one was the interior design. As you can see, the cockpit and bridge area is a little bit different in a cool way. And so there are some interesting, what do you call it, separations from typical stuff that you see a lot of that's kind of become the trends of things. There's a few things that are done differently that made it kind of unique to me. But overall, I really like the exterior design. It looks like a lot of some of the other ones that we thought were pretty cool, with the busy kind of look to it, highly detailed, lots of little parts and things showing, which makes it really cool. I do spy some firepower here, though. It's got 3 reloadable rocket launchers in both wing pods, so that could be a problem if you were ever in front of it. It does also have a few turrets on it. There is a custom gun turret that we're going to check out, though there are a few things that it mentions in terms of planetary flight, like trying to avoid using the custom turret because the gravity gets stronger than the rotor can pull, and so there's things that get messed up. There's some safety lock precautions for pistons and things like that that you're not supposed to use while flying on planets and so on and so forth. So there's a few things you'd have to take into account if you wanted to actually use it in a survival setting. But overall, so you can see here all of the pistons and rotors start safety locked. So the first step you gotta do is unlock them, and then things should work properly. This is the main access point for planets, so that you don't need your jetpack. There is also a cargo lift that can be opened for boarding and cargo and all that stuff, but I don't know if it has an exterior button anywhere, so I went ahead and decided to use the ramp. Alright, so once we're in here, welcome aboard. We're headed towards the cargo bay, so we can reverse the ramp. Now this is just for the safety lock of the rotors on the ramp, not for the entire ship, but we'll go ahead and lock those. Piston door, I don't know what the 2 buttons do, but we're going to click them both. Unless one's open and one's closed. Or lock and unlock. Lock and unlock, okay. There we go. So yeah, that works. And then we'll close it. And I like these blast door techniques too that have become kind of a common thing. That's a really cool how they have like a mirrored design so it looks like there's a seal in between there. Alright, we got some computer stuff. I love all this busyness though. This is something I wish I was better at in my own designs, and I'm frankly just not. But you got all these different conveyor pipes, and you got, I think that's I'm pretty sure that's a reactor. Oh, gyroscope, my bad. Programmable blocks, timer blocks, all that good stuff. Same thing over here, more stuff and things. Safety lock, lift. Okay, so this is for the lift. As you can see, there's some mock cargo stuff for cargo, to kind of give you the idea that this is a cargo lift. Let's see. Oh, okay, wrong button. I thought that was the unlock button. But as you can see, this would be something that would be useful for planets and whatnot where you're on the ground and want to get up. The only thing is I don't see a button outside, so I think someone might have to open it from the inside for you. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, and then I'm guessing this locks the lift. Yes, okay. Alright, we've got a connector over there, which I think there's connectors on the outside, but I'm not 100% sure on that front. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of safety locks and things for the pistons. This is kind of one of those things where some may see it as overkill. It's actually not a bad idea, though, because pistons and rotors and stuff have been so finicky in the past that it's actually a really good idea to do stuff like that. We have an exit door on the side that I completely missed. Oh, wait a minute. That's pistons for the door, but where's the safety lock control? Okay. I'm missing a lock somewhere. Oh, there it is. Right next to the sign that says safety lock. Okay, so there is a button on the outside for this. Although I don't... There it is. Alright. So that works. So that would be another access point if you were like out in space or something and didn't want to go through the ramp. We've got some panel readouts here so that you can see what's going on with your ship. This, I think, is just a passenger seat, which is all well and good. However, there's a cool gunner seat up here, which I totally missed until I saw the buttons. Okay, activate to access gunner seat. Alright, so when this comes down, if I read the description right, we get in here. I don't... Wait a minute. Maybe I was supposed to actually activate that thing here. I don't know what this is for. I don't really want to get into it, but... Assembly not found. Okay, so that's not what... I think it was talking about the safety locks, but I'm not sure on that front. From here, we activate the... Now, here's a complicated part, because I read the description, but I'm getting a little out of order here. So, let's try... I'm looking for the... this is the remote control for the gun. Rotor gun, elevation. I'm looking for the gunner's seat. Okay, there's cover. Rocket launcher's gun, pistons, gunner seat. Okay, so this is what's going to put us back up, but we need to open this. I think. Right? Maybe not. I might be doing this completely wrong. Alright, so let's do this way first. So we're going to raise ourselves up, which I don't think would work in the survival situation, because we've got our head in the blast block, so I'm pretty sure I'm doing something wrong at this point, but oh well. It's got the safety lock on it. Okay, so let's reverse. I don't know how you're supposed to do this, essentially, is what I'm getting at, but I'm just kind of... doing the stuff that I know will make it work. So you got this cool little hatch on the top of the ship, which I thought was a really neat touch. And then you can remote control, if I can find the control button. So then you can remote control from here. And this is where all the stuff is. Okay, so I should have taken over the seat first. Whoops. Because there's the safety locks for them, and these are the reversals for the things that I was just messing with. Okay, so from here, then you have the camera view, you can select the weapons. However, I'm trying to figure out how you actually control the gun turret. Because that doesn't seem... remote gun... Well, that's what I thought I was taking over, but apparently I'm doing that wrong too. Oh, unless there's a difference... No, I don't see another panel. So I'm not really sure, because when you move the analog, or not analog, the mouse, it's not really doing anything. If I turn these on, am I doing anything? I don't think I'm doing anything. Okay, well, I don't know if I can fire this without blowing myself up, but... yeah, so it's supposed to move, but I'm doing something wrong, so kind of... I would refer back to the description for how to do that properly, because I am not doing it properly. Okay, so now at this point we can lower the cover, lower the seat, and then we can get out. We'll retract that back up. And safety lock stuff. Okay, now on to the crew quarters. So you got some bunks. I think the description read that it's supposed to seat about 4 crew. And it seems like they're following the same convention in that even though the titles are the same for each buttons, the closest one to the door opens it and the one furthest away locks it. Seems to be kind of the convention, so it's an easier way to remember it. We got all this stuff, but like I said, the bridge up here I thought was really neat. I thought this was really cool. You've got just some different stuff, particularly the vertical windows make it a little bit different and uncommon. Nope, wrong one. I always do that. And then you can control it from here, and you're now actually flying via the remote block. And there is actually safety locks for all the pistons and all the rotors on the ship. So you can lock everything down relatively easily if you were transitioning into a planet or something like that. So bear that in mind. And then we've got the missile launchers, the turrets, spotlights, antennas, the 2 connectors, and hydro thrusters. You also got landing gear controls here, the cargo lift, oxygen generators, and the ramp that can all be controlled from the cockpit. So yeah, overall, I like how what they kind of did with everything, and you can see the oh, that's part of why. Okay, I was thinking that was the gun turret. I don't think that's necessarily the gun turret because I think that's the drone. This also has a drone that you can control. Let's see if I can do that without destroying anything. Probably not. I'm not holding out hope at this point. We are locked in at the moment. It looks like spotlight is on, ore detector is on, reactor, antenna, the camera. Okay. Oops. Where'd it go? Why'd I lose control? Stop that. Wait. What the heck happened? That was weird. My whole hotbar light cleared. Oh! I hit the wrong button. Let's move on. Okay. So then, dagnabbit, control it. Alright, so if we unlock it... Oh, we're on the bottom. I'm a dum-dum. This is on the bottom. Okay, so that top part is the turret. I don't know why it's wobbly then. So yeah, it even has its own little sentry drone type of thing. Why my view is all weird, I don't really know. I guess it's because I'm still in the pilot seat. But yeah. So you have your own little surveillance drone on top of everything, which is pretty cool. It's a cute little drone. I like it. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Overall, I really like the design and functionality of the ship. I think it has a lot of cool stuff to it. So let's finish this one up and move on to the next one. Alright, so last but oh so certainly not least, we have the Ganymede class attack cruiser thing. I'm pretty sure that's something close to the name, but I know it's not right, so definitely check the description. This one is a little bit different from the last one in terms of it's a bit bigger, but you'll notice it's not quite as decorative on the outside. That's not to say it's not as well designed, it's just not as flashy or not as detailed, but it makes up for form with function. Because this thing is a battle carrier type thing. Well, not carrier, assault class ship would be better. It has 3 primary means of attack, and they all sound pretty vicious in the description, so I'm interested to test them out. It has a bombardment, like carpet bombing type system. It has dual torpedo launchers and a mass driver gravity cannon type thingamabobber. All of them sound really crazy, and definitely all of them sound like they're going to make me blow up the ship by accidentally pushing the wrong buttons like I always do. So, you know, this is why I can't have nice things. Actually, it's one of the big reasons I've never tried to make my own gravity-type torpedo weapon type things. I'm always afraid I'm going to blow everything up. Mainly because I always blow everything up. So, let's see if we can't track down the bridge on this behemoth. Contrary to what it looks like, though, it's not actually a huge ship like you might think. Some of these have a very deceptive... Oh, look! There's nice little LCD screens. That's convenient. Escape pods, pod bay, mass driver access, bomb bay access, reactor cores, and all of the doors are very functional. The sensors on them have been dialed in really nicely. I like it. I was just complimenting you. So here's the reactor room, it looks like. It seems like they're running off of 2, but I can't say there aren't more somewhere else in the ship, so... But yes, it's primarily designed to be like a long-range assault ship, in that the idea is let's attack things from a further range than they can hit us, which is pretty foolproof strategy. It's hard to argue with that. Actually, this is kind of cool too. We have our maglock boots at the moment, and it totally didn't work. I was waiting for it to wrap around. That sucks. I was hoping it would wrap around and you could walk on the bottom of the catwalks. Alright, anyways. So this is an internal thruster room, which I like this kind of stuff because then on the outside it doesn't look like you have a whole lot of thrusters, A, that are displayed, and B, is that if you actually are in a fight, nobody can target your thrusters, which is a good idea. Looks like hydrogen tanks, gyroscopes, so stuff and things, utility type stuff. I wanted to kind of just explore some of the interior stuff as well, because the interior was pretty cool from the screenshots that I saw, so I wanted to poke around a bit. We got a mirror on the other side here. Okay, so let's go back towards this way. I'd like to kind of end on the mass driver thing, because that sounded really, really cool. But I keep kind of heading that way. Escape pods, pod bay, and bomb bay access. Blech, I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me today. So let's check out the escape pods. Escape pods 3 and 4. Alright, so they're essentially a really, really minimal ship, and actually, these are more than likely the little vertical type design things that we saw on the outside of the ship that had the cockpits on them. I didn't point them out, but I did notice them. And that's probably what they are. Because I was wondering why those had cockpits attached to them. Mass driver access, warning extreme gravity during operation. Yes, it is a gravity-based weapon, so that would definitely be something you would not want to be standing out there for that. What do we got here? Pod bay, open, close time. Oh, I take that back. These may not be what I was thinking they were. I don't know. I don't know at this point. Now I'm lost. I'm confused. Because this is the pod bay. But where's the pod? Unless that's something else and not the escape pods. These, I think, are the escape pods that we saw earlier, because they're... it looks like... I don't know, is that a mass block? It is a mass block. I'm still getting used to some of the newer blocks I don't use all the time. We got merge blocks. Okay, so it's a gravity-based escape pod then. There's no thrusters and stuff, it's just the mass block, the battery, you detach it, it falls kind of thing. That's interesting. I don't know what this is for. I thought the pod bay was the escape pods, but it seems that is not accurate. So I'm not really sure what that's for. Oh, fine, we're right here. Let's go check out the mass driver. So there's a lot of gravity generators here. Yeah, a lot. So this is actually not the, apparently not the warhead bay. This is just where all the gravity generators are housed. And if the description is accurate, it said it can launch a warhead-tipped projectile at over 268 meters per second, which is very impressive. Okay. So that's some of the inner workings. Did we go this way? I don't think we did. Where does this go? There aren't any signs. Now I'm lost. No, but seriously, now I'm lost. Okay, so this is going to be the bomb doors, or bomb bays, I think, because there's the welders and the projectors there, so these are going to open and then launch them downward. So that's your carpet bombing areas, I believe. And this is reactor access, it looks like. And the, wrong button. Nope, wrong button. Close the door, thank you. The description also said that the carpet bomb system can run, I believe it said 6 bombs per second. So quite a bit of firepower if you had all the resources and materials to actually launch all of them at one time. Alright, I think this led back to the airlock area. Yes, this is where we came in. Ah! Doors keep shutting on me. Alright, so this is C deck. This is where we're getting into a little bit more of the ship kind of thing and less of the guts. All sliding doors, attack mode timer. So I'm assuming the attack mode timer would put on like red alert. I don't know for sure. And we have information readouts on our LCD screens here. Gravity bay. So this is probably the source of the ship's gravity, not the gravity mass drive, with programmable blocks and timer blocks to run everything. Stairwell A, bridge, port missile launcher, starboard missile launcher. So I believe these missile launchers are going to be the dual torpedo system that the description referred to. There's a projector. Yeah, okay. So this is kind of like the bombs, only the other way. You've got a welder and a merge block and a doorway over there to launch them with a gravity generator on the back. Or, wait, no, that's a projector. So I'm assuming the blueprint then for the torpedoes has its own thrust capabilities. Because usually it either is built with its own thrusters or they have some kind of gravity launcher, like the mass driver. Alright, so we know the bridge is down there, but I don't know what goes this way. Med bay, cryo bay, lower radar bay. It does have functioning radar, I'm assuming through scripts, because this is a modless build. Though I could be incorrect. What do we got here? Rotor radar. Okay. Ah, there it is. Admittedly, I don't know how the scripts work for the radar systems, but I have seen one or two that are commonly used, so I'm assuming that's what it's using, but I don't really know how they work. It's actually quite impressive to me that somebody's figured out how to do that without modding the blocks and stuff. Alright, I'm getting a little turned around at this point. So I just went back in a circle. And there's the cryo bay, which actually looks really cool, very well mood-lit. And the reactor shaft is said to be back this way. There's oxygen tanks and stuff back here. That's where they're keeping all of their air, I guess. And we're going to take the stairs and go back down towards the bridge so that we can start testing out some of these weapons, because we're running low on time. And we've already seen all the reactor-y stuff, so it's not really that big of a deal. The bridge looks really cool. I like the bridge. Particularly because of this stuff, the framing for the large, or the small ship grid framework type stuff. I love this kind of stuff. So I'm really, really thrilled with the bridge on this. And you do have, like, hangar door here to seal off the windows for battle mode, I'm assuming. On each side. Small readouts here. Let's see. Sensor scan data. Okay, so that's GPS and scan stuff. I'm assuming, I'm not 100% positive. I don't know what these do. Empty, all sliding doors. Okay. I'm assuming these are... Maybe not. I was thinking these were the torpedo seats for port and starboard, but it seems like they're jump controls, so we're going to activate attack mode. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. All the lights turn to red and the doors shut and everything. That is so cool. Everybody on red alert. Alright. Now for the fun stuff. We have fire mass driver timer, mass driver door, forward nav, missile targeting, bomb targeting, thrusters, jump drive, open close missile bay, fire missiles, cease missile fire, targeting, open close bomb. See, I like this. Simple. Easy to keep track of. I have just lowered my possibility of destroying the ship by, like, 20%. Alright, so first step. Open the doors. So there's our carpet bomb, our bomb bay doors. And then, they've seemed to have relegated it down to a... Why are they both... Oh, start bombing, but if you look at the far right, it says start and stop, so... Thankfully, they've relegated it to just a start and stop button, which is great. So let's start it up. So, yeah, it can do 6 bombs every second. So, needless to say, if you were on a planet and above a base or something like that, this would end poorly for whoever was underneath of you. I imagine. Alright, let's stop it. Now, I'm assuming, I've never really built one of these myself, I'm assuming the system can pause and start and stop all at any drop of a hat, because it looks like they were still in the process of being built. Those did kind of wobble out a little bit, though. Alright, and then we can close the doors. Okay, so attached to closing the bay doors will actually turn off all the projectors and everything. That's a smart move. Okay, now I'm pretty sure these bays on the right are our missiles. So let me double check. Yep. Open the doors. Yep, so there's our 2 missile bays for forward fire. So once the doors are clear, we have a start and a stop. So let's start them up. They are a little bit wobbly coming out the doors. That would concern me a little bit. And it does say there is potential if you let them go for too long for them to jam up and kind of blow up. So, yeah. I don't know if it's doing it right now or not, but we're going to stop it nonetheless. Because I don't like that. So, yeah, those aren't something, even the description said you probably shouldn't have them going a lot for a long extended period of time. Let's close the doors, hope nothing blows up. Because there are live warheads in there, but they're not... Well, I say warheads, I don't know what they're made out of, but thankfully nothing blew up. Alright, now on to the main attraction, which is the mass driver. So forward nav... Oh, that's on the bottom. We don't want that. I want to see this thing. Okay. So fire mass door. We're going to do the door first. Because it's possible that they put the door in the fire timer, but I don't want to risk it. The other cool thing is it supposedly will make the ship recoil when you fire this, so that's going to be interesting. So let's start her up. Though I'm not seeing it recoil. Unless there's an adjustment that I can make in terms of if there's a way to increase the speed of them or something like that, then that might actually do something else to where it recoils harder. But supposedly this will go out very, very far and do a lot of damage. So I like that. I could be doing it wrong. It would not surprise me. So bear that in mind. But I think that's going to do it. We are way over on our time for this episode, so we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.